So you have jabbed right and went either way on the defender. Your opponent should be at your mercy at this point and just be guessing which way you are going to go. The step and cross is a lethal move from a dead ball start and usually results in the defender being taken completely out of the play and in some cases hitting the hardwood. The step and cross is executed just as it's named. You step one way as if you're going that way and at the same time crossing over to the other hand. The step should be hard to give the illusion that you are really going that way, and the crossover should be low to keep the ball out of the reach of the defender. The combination of the double jab and the step and cross can be a dangerous mixture for a defender who likes to apply heavy on-ball pressure. Their overzealousness makes them susceptible to hard fakes and quick changes of direction, which makes this a great move to loosen up a keen defender. You have now jabbed left and went either way on the defender. Your opponent should just be guessing which way you're going to go now. The step and cross is a lethal move from a dead ball start and usually results in the defender being taken completely out of the play. The step and cross is executed just as it is named. You should step one way as you are going that way and at the same time crossing the ball over to the other hand. The step should be hard to give the illusion that you're really going that way, and the crossover should be low to keep the ball out of the reach of the defender. The combination of the double jab and the step and cross can be a dangerous mixture for a defender who likes to apply heavy on-ball pressure. Their overzealousness makes them susceptible to hard fakes and quick changes of direction, which makes this a great move to loosen up a keen defender. Dribbling the ball behind your back is the ultimate way to cross the ball over to your opposite hand without exposing the ball to the defense. This is also a good move to use on defenders who excel at on-ball defense and stealing the ball. The execution of this move is much the same as the basic crossover, except the ball is behind you. The key to applying this move is being able to execute it without looking down to see if the ball has made it to your opposite hand. This can cause you to slow down as well as affect your court awareness. The spin move can be an extremely effective move if executed correctly, or can be a turnover waiting to happen. Executing the spin properly will result in the ball never being exposed to the defender. When spinning, the ball should not change hands while you are in the actual spin motion, but when you have already completed the spin and are facing the basket. As soon as the ball has changed hands, the protection hand should be extended for maximum protection. If the defender wasn't lost on the double crossover, chances are they're in a good position to steal the ball. As a result, an around the back would be the most logical counter considering the ball has been exposed to the defender for 2 consecutive dribbles. Successfully completing the double crossover around the back will ensure the only thing a reaching defender will grab is a handful of air. Adding the between the legs after the in and out crossover is necessary because the ball has been exposed to the defender for 2 consecutive dribbles. The initial sequence will shift the defender in most cases and put them in a situation where they will have to make a last-ditch effort of reaching for the ball before they are completely humiliated. Finishing with a between the legs dribble will ensure that all a reaching defender will get is a broken finger. This is another move that the sheer ball speed alone with which it can be executed will leave the defender shell-shocked and stunned. Most likely, the defender will regain their senses right at the end of the crossover and will shift to guard against it late. The late shifts make the finishing around the back so devastating because as the defender is moving in one way, you should be moving the exact opposite, leaving no chance for recovery. The double behind the back is much the same as the prior progressions in the aforementioned series. The first behind the back should be hard and exaggerated to give the defender the impression that you're going to attack. In most cases, the defender will react by sheer instinct because of limited visibility of the ball. The instinctual reaction makes them a prime candidate for the counter, which is the second behind the back dribble. This counter should be a quick attacking dribble with the intention of taking advantage of your opponent's overplay on the first initial move. The key to successfully applying the second progression in the behind the back series, the double behind the back crossover, is reading how the defender has played the double behind the back. This will indicate which finishing crossover is necessary, a hard exaggerated cross or a fast quick cross. The hard exaggerated cross should be used when the defender has not reacted to the double behind the back. A fast, quick cross should be used if the defender has jumped the double behind the back and in position to make a play on the ball. The hesitation, or Heso as it is called for short, can be one of the most devastating moves when done correctly and with the right detail. The theory behind this move is to give the defender the belief that you are going to pick the ball up and shoot. This move usually leads to the defender leaving their feet to challenge the shot, giving the ball handler the opportunity for penetration. The effectiveness of the Heso correlates directly to how well the fake is sold. The whole body should be used when implementing this move. In order to set up the Heso, you should slow down like you're preparing to shoot a jump shot. Your eyes should be focused on the rim while gathering yourself to elevate. Your non-dribbling hand should then be brought close to the ball as if you're picking the ball up, but not actually doing so and maintaining your dribble. This should give the defender the illusion that you have picked the ball up and at the least raise them out of their defensive stance to defend the shot, giving you the opportunity to attack. The concept of using the hesitation crossover is the same as the regular Heso, except the ball is crossed over to the other hand after the fake. This can be useful if the defender has severely overplayed the ball side when challenging the shot or anticipates the Heso and plays the ball side. The step back is a great move for players who like to shoot jump shots and is an effective way to create space for jump shot openings. The idea is to attack the defender with the dribble, which should drive them back. While the defender is retreating, the ball handler should step back, effectively creating space between themselves and the defender, freeing up an open jump shot. Mastery of this move will be determined by being able to step back off either foot while dribbling with either hand. The single hand wrap should be used in offensive transition and in most cases a 2-on-1 situation. The wrap gives the illusion of an around the back pass, which usually entices the defender to play the pass or freezes them cold, opening a lane to the basket. Correct application of this move is based on the ball being wrapped to the same hand. The key to ensuring that the ball gets back to the same hand during execution is touching your opposite hip with the hand that the ball is being wrapped with. The snapback is the most effective space creator shown in this DVD and has 3 variations. In most cases, this move results in the defender falling or being taken so far out of the play there's no chance of recovery and usually frees you up for a wide open jump shot. The theory of this move is the same as any other move that creates space, in that you want to attack either penetration lane in an effort to drive the defender back. Once the defender is retreating to defend this perceived penetration, the ball is snapped back to the opposite hand using, in this case, a basic crossover dribble. On this crossover, however, it is imperative that the ball is dribbled low and actually brought back to the other hand and out of range of a reaching defender. It is also important when executing this move to attack penetration lanes in a straight line with the rim. This will force the defense to move straight back and create maximum space between the ball handler and the defender once the snapback has been applied. The next stage of the snapback is the addition of a hesitation dribble after the snapback has been administered. Usage of the hesitation will be determined by if the defender has been able to recover from the snapback and looks to challenge the shot. If there is a challenge, the application of the hesitation is sure to add insult to injury and make the defender regret their decision. The purpose of the double snapback, simply put, is to embarrass the defender and take your opponent out of the game psychologically. The move is two snapbacks, one after another, but after the first snapback, you intentionally let the defender recover to give them a false belief that they have done a good job defending you, which usually involves them relaxing as if the storm is over. At this point of relaxation and delight, you dispense another snapback, giving them a reality check while freeing yourself up for a wide open jump shot. The killer behind the back is the second variation of the killer crossover. The theory of application is the same as the first, but the behind the back dribble is used for maximum protection after the between the legs dribble. The focal point of this move should still be the hard lean on the between the legs dribble. The most difficult of the killer crossover variations, the killer spin, if executed properly, will also be the most effective. The difficulty in this move lies in the transition from the between the legs dribble into the finishing spin. Due to the hard lean that is required in the killer crossover, it is very easy to lose your balance while spinning past your opponent. In saying that, extra attention should be paid to the footwork used to pull this move off. When coming out of the spin, the protection hand should be employed to ensure your defender has no chance at stealing the ball from behind as you have spun past. Dragging is great for players who like to shoot jump shots. The drag is designed to help jump shooters become more effective at getting to the basket. The drag is very similar to defensive sliding while dribbling the ball along the three-point line. When using the drag, you should also bring your offhand close to the ball as if you were picking it up ready to shoot. This will confuse the defender and give them no clue as to when you are actually going to shoot the ball. By the time they have realized you are going to shoot, the ball is flying over their head straight for the bottom of the net. As outlined before, the drag is a great move to set up a jump shot. Although, once executed, the defender will be aware of the move, which will result in them playing the jumper. This makes them a prime candidate for the next move in the drag series, the drag with a hesitation. The hesitation after the drag should be an easy sell because the drag already calls for you to bring your offhand close to the ball to keep the defender confused. Use your eyes, shoulders, and head to really lift the defender at least out of their stance and open up a lane to the basket. After you have implemented the drag and shot the jumper in your opponent's face, and then showed them the hesitation and made them jump out of their shoes, the defender should be at your mercy and always be one step behind. Adding the step back next should really have him dazed and confused. Your opponent will already be apprehensive about guarding the drag, especially after the first two possessions. So attacking the basket and putting them on their heels is a perfect time to execute the step back and shoot another wide open jumper in their face. Another great way to throw off the timing of your opponent when using the drag is to add a double step back in once you have drugged them. The double step back is rarely seen in today's game, but is still a great way to free yourself up for an open jump shot. Footwork is the key in executing this move, so step back off the foot that is opposite your dribbling hand. This helps to protect the ball as well as gives you better balance when going to shoot your jumper. Another wrinkle that will be completely unexpected by the defender is to just take off to the corner after dragging your opponent. Dribbling full speed to the corner will definitely catch your opponent off guard, following the monotonous rhythm of the drag, and is sure to free you up for another open jump shot. Court awareness and maintaining vision of the basket are crucial elements when taking off to the corner, as a slip in either will result in a turnover or decrease the accuracy on your shot. The last counter off getting to the corner after dragging is utilizing the step back. When applying the step back in this case, step off the inside leg to create maximum space, as well as protect the ball from the defender. Also, be conscious of your balance and not fading when elevating for the shot, because the momentum from the move is such that it might cause you to drift. The between the legs is a great setup to use when the defender is playing off of you, because they are intimidated by or honoring your ability to get to the basket. This is also a great way to take up the space and get in range of the defender to execute a move to open up penetration lanes. Another advantage of the between the legs setup is that once in range, you are already in north-south stance and allows for maximum acceleration when ready to attack the basket. The between the legs setup is usually used when the defender is playing off of you and you want to get in range to create an opportunity to attack the basket. In some cases, the defender will try and maintain this buffer by moving backward while you are moving forward. In this case, take what the defense gives you and shoot the open jump shot right in their face, preferably a three-pointer. Make or miss, shooting the bomb will make the defender respect the fact that you will shoot it, preventing them from just backing off again, which will then open up penetration lanes. To capitalize on the respect your opponent has to give you after shooting the jumper in their face following the between the legs, throw in a hesitation once you get in range now. Selling the hesitation in this instance should be quite easy to do considering you're extremely low during the execution of the between the legs series. Stand straight up as you are using the Heso. This will engage the defender to jump and block your shot. Too bad for them, you'll be driving to the basket shooting an uncontested layup. The freeze can be a very versatile maneuver when using it with a setup such as the between the legs. It can be executed in a quick, subtle fashion or a slow, exaggerated manner, both of which can be very handy. A quick, subtle freeze usually drives the defender back initially and then immediately forward. It is during this forward movement that you attack, leaving your opponent in the dust. A slow, exaggerated freeze after the between the legs setup will put the defender on their heels but gives them time to recover and reset their stance. It is at this instance when the defender has reset their stance that you should attack. This is the exact instance when your opponent is flat-footed and unable to react. After applying a quick subtle freeze or the slow exaggerated freeze following the between the legs setup, you can counter either with a basic crossover dribble. A quick crossover dribble or an exaggerated east and west crossover directly correlates to which freeze you have chosen to implement. As a general rule, use the fast quick crossover when using the subtle freeze and the exaggerated east and west crossover when using the deliberate freeze. However, mixing and matching the speeds in which you execute the between the legs and freeze with crossover will prove beneficial because it will keep the defender off balance. After using the between the legs freeze and then the freeze with the crossover, your opponent should be a little jumpy and unsure of themselves. Utilizing the between the legs and double freeze as the next move in the series will make them concede that they have absolutely no idea where you are going. When executing this move, vary the rate of speed on the two freezes for maximum effect. Sometimes use the quick, subtle freeze first, followed by the slow, exaggerated freeze, and vice versa. This will definitely keep the defender off balance, which is exactly where you want them. Rounding off the between the legs series is the double freeze with crossover. Continuing off the success of the previous move, adding in the crossover after the double freeze should make the defender just put up their white flag and submit. A quick subtle crossover should be enough to finish your opponent. However, I find that a hard east and west crossover will wreak the most havoc on the defender's ankles.